afternoon, everyone. It's a wonderful opportunity to be here. However, I'm not really sure how many of you are still as active as we were before the session because we had a fabulous lunch. There are still some people trying to make sure that they get their dose of dessert. But we'll make sure in the next 40-45 minutes, we will decode what is viral content, how can you use video for taking your brand to the next level, and we'll also make sure that we talk about influencer marketing, which is, I think, the next phase of marketing evolution. My name is Ravi Ranjan, and it's a wonderful opportunity to be here and talk to you all about influencer marketing, and I would like to welcome all of you at Digital Success Summit 2018. Before we start, I would just like to make a quick announcement. One of our panelists, Mr. Vinay Singhal, founder of Witty Feed, was supposed to be here. However, he met with an accident 2 days ago. So Mayank is replacing Vinay, and Mayank is going to talk about influencer marketing, how to get it right for your brand. Without any further delay, I would like to very quickly go ahead and talk very quickly about what is influencer marketing, how brands are using social for their, for their exercise. But before I do that, I think one of the most interesting aspect of today's event are all of you who have taken out time to come here and spend the entire day. Can we have a big round of applause for all of you? Thank you so much. Let me do a quick experiment before I go into my presentation. I saw that very few people clapped. Who do you think in the room can claim that he's the best clapper? Can you raise your hand? If you think you're the best clapper, wonderful. You are the best clapper. And how many friends you have offline? You have 15 friends. How many friends you have online? 5,000? 500, that's wonderful. If I request you to do a video on how to clap, and I would be giving you a little bit of reward and recognition and maybe a little bit of money. Would you do that for me? Okay, definitely. Anyone else who would like to record a video of how to clap and share it with their followers? Because I'm trying to start a company where I'm training people how to clap well. Anyone else who want to do that? I'm happy to talk to them and discuss how much fee we can pay to them. Anyone else who want to do that? Okay, I've got one person. I'll just take the last call. Anyone else who want to be featured in this campaign? Okay, I've got 2 people, I've got 3 people. These are the people who we call influencer because they have some friends who listen to them and they are good at something which they do. If you combine that together, you create something called influencer marketing. What is it? Let's go ahead and have a deep down. Can you please have the slide? If you can do a full screen, please. Control L. All right, wonderful. I would not take a lot of time because I have 2 experts. I'm not an expert in influencer marketing. I'm not an expert in creating videos. Ashish and Mayank are. But I'm going to give you a very quick introduction of what is content marketing and how can you break the internet. Have you heard this terminology called break the internet? That is what happens when one of your posts, which can be a video, a blog, a picture, just goes crazy. How many of you in the room did the Kiki challenge? Oh, I see one person. Okay, I've got Ashish as well. That's wonderful. Let's quickly go ahead and have a look at influencer marketing and social media. Can we have the next slide, please? All right. I have a question to ask all of you. Can you see the slide in the back? People in the back? You can? It says, and the question is, what killed the YouTube counter in 2014? How many of you know the answer? Just raise your hand. Let's try and make it a little interactive if you can. We have one hand. Can we get a mic to the gentleman there, please? And I would love to listen to your response about what you think killed YouTube in 2014, their counter. There in the corner.
Is it Gangnam Style? YouTube had to reset their counter.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
I hope you have the same response. How many of us use YouTube and watch videos on YouTube? Almost everyone. How many of you have never watched a video on YouTube? Okay, wonderful. Let's go to the next slide. This is what killed the YouTube counter in 2014, a video called Gangnam Style by Psy from South Korea. But how did this happen and why did this happen? Let's move on to the next slide and see. This is an official statement from YouTube which was published in 2014. YouTube said that they never thought that any of the video on a platform like YouTube can be watched more than 2 billion times. So they used to use a technology called 32-bit integral. However, after Gangnam Style hit $1 billion views, the counter froze. And they had to reset the counter. And now they have a counter which is upgraded to 64 integral. And they are now hoping that more and more videos would cross billions of views. And recently, Despacito became one of the fastest growing video on YouTube. It's actually now about to close 5 billion. Let's go to the next slide. So how do you say this name, this number? The number which is reset to the YouTube counter, you say it 9 quintillion, 223 quadrillion, 372 trillion, 36 billion, 854,775,808. That is what we are hoping. Entrepreneurs in the room, people like you, maybe one day you'll get that number. Moving to the next slide. All of this sounds cool. I'm sure you have heard so many people talking about viral marketing, social media, influencer. That sounds cool, but does it make sense for me as an entrepreneur? Does it make sense for you as a business? Does it make sense for a student who might be sitting in this room? Does it make sense for a traditional business which is running for the last 60 years? Let's see if it does make sense or not. We are going to cover two important aspects today, viral content and influencer marketing. As I mentioned, Ashish and Mayank, they are best in their trade, and they would make sure that you have a beautiful takeaway when you leave the hall today after the session. Let's do a little bit of interaction as well. Can we go ahead and talk about these people? Let's see how many people know the first picture. Raise your hands. Kolaveri D. What happened? One morning we woke up and we suddenly saw people are tweeting and writing about why this Kolaveri D. No idea. For the next 1 week I was trying to decode what is Kolaveri. Trying to do Google Translate, trying to call my Tamil friend, no one has any clue. People are going to office, there's a huge traffic, they are writing hashtag why this Kolaveri D. There's a problem in someone's office, the person did not get appraisal, why this Kolaveri D. Suddenly, this video became one of the most viral video ever watched in India. Number 2, how many of you know this person? Can we go back to the next slide? Number 2, how many of you know this person? Few in the back. Okay, couple of few. I see most of the young people raise their hand. For everyone else in the room, the person is called Bhuvan Bam. He has a YouTube channel called BB Ki Vines, which is one of the most popular YouTube channel in India, and I'll give you a very interesting figure. He makes close to, can you guess how much money he makes every month? Any wild guess? He makes close to $1 million every month by his videos. Do you know the third picture? Anyone knows the third picture on the top? 3 of you. Yeah, can we get a mic? So, here on the phone.
That's Follow Me Too. They created the series.
Follow Me Too. It's a very interesting Instagram series where the girl travels across the world with her partner. The partner takes the picture in beautiful costume across the world. That's a picture from Varanasi, which went viral online. Next picture, I think it says Louis Fonsi and Daddy Yankee created a phenomena across the world on internet. Despacito became one of the most watched video online, and guess how much money they would have made? Millions of dollars. The last picture on the slide is a person called PewDiePie. How many of you have heard about him? Very few. Okay, people who watch YouTube, go and check PewDiePie, and I'll give you a very interesting figure. He has 65 million followers on YouTube. He's the #1 YouTube influencer in the world. What does he do? He reviews video games, and he makes millions of dollars every week just by reviewing games. But what is that picture doing in the center? There's a kid playing with toys. I think that's a typo. But I don't think that's a typo. I actually put that intentionally because this kid deserves all the praise, in fact, more than all of them. His name is Ryan. He has a YouTube channel called Ryan Review Toys. His dad gets him toys earlier. Now brands send him toys, Fisher Price, Hamleys. to review the toy and give his perspective. How does a child would love to interact with the toy? Can you guess in 2016 how much Ryan made? He's 5 years old. Any wild guess? I want to see one hand going up. No one. Okay. That's absolutely all right. Ryan made $11 million in 2017. He's 5 years old. He just turned 5.
No income tax.
No income tax? Moving on to the next slide. I'm going to talk very quickly about how you can use influencer marketing for your brand. It can be an old family business. It can be a new startup. It can be an internet company. It can be an e-commerce. How does influencer marketing work for you, no matter how big or small your business is? Can we have the next slide, please? The first picture is a brand called Fiji Water. You know, in our world where we have water ranging right from 20 cents to $20 to $200, in India we have water starting from 10 rupees going upwards of 5,000 rupees for a bottle, a liter of water. This new brand, Fiji Water, came into US and they wanted to make sure they reach out to the right target audience. They partnered with a lot of influencers and these influencers started promoting Fiji Water on their Instagram handles. In just few months, Fiji Water received close to 130,000 followers on their Twitter account, and now this is one of the most branded, and it has the highest brand recall value in terms of water, packaged drinking water. The second company, H&M. How many of you have used or got a dress or a t-shirt from H&M? I love H&M. I love their t-shirts. It's really fabulous. It's a really big brand, billions of dollars. Why do you think when they can afford to get a front page newspaper or they can go on CNN, they can go on BBC, why would they use influencer marketing? The result is right there. When they started their campaign, they were not so good on Instagram. However, they started a campaign where they asked influencers to wear H&M clothes and share pictures online. They now have 26.3 million followers on Instagram, and that is fabulous. The next one is a juice brand called Naked. In India, we have a very interesting company called Raw Pressery, which makes cold pressed juice. There is fruit juice, nothing else, no preservative, no sugar. The same thing was done by Naked, and Naked got a lot of brands to endorse their product. They have now got close to 300,000 followers. This is an old picture. The next slide, please. Gap, a wonderful clothing brand. Gap was started because the founder of Gap realized that other denim brands does not give the fit which you require. Very big brand, everyone knows Gap, but Gap realized that if they get influencers and they can put them in a right way, they can actually decode social media marketing and influencer marketing. And you can look at the result. Gap, after their campaign called Spring is Boring, they got 2.5 million followers on Instagram and Twitter. The next one is a very interesting influencer called Mr. Bags. He's an entrepreneur from China, and his expertise lies into reviewing bags, purse for both male and female. He has close to 33,000 followers on his Twitter and Instagram account. All the big brands, Gucci, Prada, Armani, they send him a complimentary bag so that he can review. And then the brand gets sold just like that in China and other markets. The last one, Kim Kardashian. How many of you have heard about this wonderful lady? Why I say wonderful is because she has been doing some fabulous stuff in the field of digital marketing. She has a lot of followers. As you can see there, 115 million followers. Can you guess how much money she charged to do one post for your brand, where she would just use your product the way she's doing Fit Tea? Can you guess how much money she would charge for the brand? Any wild guess? Kim Kardashian charged a minimum of $500,000 for one post on her Instagram account. There's much more. Can you go to the next slide? There's much more which I can talk and I want to talk about, but I would like experts who are sitting next to me to talk about how to make influencer marketing, social media, and viral content work for your business.